The RTX 3070 is an amazing card. It was released at around October 2020. Yes, that's 5 years ago. The only limitation with this card is its 8 GB of VRAM. However, in 2026, let's see if it's still highly capable. When you compare it against a modern 8 GB card like in here, the RTX 5060, you can see that the performance in CyberPunk 2077 at 1080p is actually pretty close. Now, even if we go up to 1440p with upscaling, now we did lose a little bit of FPS in here compared to the 5060, but it is still good enough considering it's a 5-year-old card. Now, let's go to like the X11 title, and in here we have PUBG. The performance and the running benchmark is very close. We do lose a little bit on the 0.1% lows, but that's about it. Even when we go through our mortar benchmark, the performance relatively close, apart from 0.1% lows. Now, before we carry on, let's have a quick look at our specs, and we're trying to keep it real in here. We're just using the basic Ryzen 7600. The rest of the specs are just shown here. Okay, let's go through our games here, and we're running at 1440p, and obviously we'll try 4K later on. First up is CyberPunk 2077. Look at this one, boys. It's a really good experience. We're running at about 70 plus FPS. We're running around Night City. It's a good experience, and it's ultra settings as well. When we go through Oblivion Remastered, yes, there are some caveats with this game. There are some stutters in this game, which is normal, but we are still doing fine at medium settings with DLSS turned on at 1440p. Yes, GPUs fully utilized, but we're doing really good in the dungeon here. Another game that I really like, I spend a lot of time these days, is Arc Raiders. Look at that one, boys. We're running at 144 FPS, maxed out our GPU, and it's just great here in the damn battlegrounds. Obviously, it's pushing our CPU as well, but the experience in itself for this type, for the RTX, in using the RTX 3070 is actually good in this first set of games. Let's move on now to our multiplayer shooters, and in here we've got Battlefield 6. Now, I was waiting for some time for Battlefield 6 to load, and I did get these errors. It then occurred to me when I was doing the recording that it actually had a big patch. So anyway, and our game in here at 1440p competitive settings, and we've got upscaling as well. About 112 FPS. This is actually good, right? Yep, we do have like in heavier scenes, like where we have a lot of smokes and a lot of explosions. There is a little bit of dip in here, especially in this newer map, but that's about it, right? It is still pretty capable, not the highest FPS, but still good enough for Battlefield 6. Now, let's go to Delta Force, which is another massive shooter, right? Keep some shooters in there. It's a good experience too, right? We've got DLSS turned on in here, but we're getting 200 FPS, almost 200 FPS. Yes, there are some little bit of micro stutters, but that is normal in this game initially, right? It should iron out after a while. Let's now move on to our Battle Royale games. And first up, we have Warzone. We've fully utilized our GPU in here. We have running basic 1440p with upscaling. And look at that one, boys. You're getting about 140 FPS. Just fragging some people here. Not bad for a 5-year-old card. When we go to Fortnite, we do max out our RTX 3070 in here on some occasions, especially when the map is loading and we got everything else. This is a performance mode, DX12, and we're running pretty good. We can be GPU bound in here and sometimes CPU bound. It just depends on the scene, but you're getting roughly about 300 FPS, which is actually good in this game, especially if you're going into like build fights. Another Battle Royale game, which is a classic, right? PUBG and 1440p. It's just actually not a bad experience as well. We're getting about 190 FPS in here. We're able to frag some people. Well, some people in here. Actually good experience, right? We will try 4K later on with this with the RTX 3070 and PUBG, and let's see how that one rolls out. Let's move on down to hero shooters, and here we have Apex Legends 1440p competitive settings, and we've got a lot of like smokes in here, and we're getting about really good FPS, right? But still over 200, which is quite good. Maxed out our RTX 3070 in here. And when we go to Marvel Rivals, there's a lot of action in here. and we're getting only about 100 FPS, slightly over 100 FPS. We did max out once again our 3070. It's low settings, but is that what's which is what you would want if you're playing these games, because you want to see that visibility. Another hero shooter, well, it's more like a hero shooter, is Mecha Break, right? All these like Gundam style mech fighting robots. And the FPS is actually not bad as well. We've got DLSS turned on in here. We're getting about 120 or 130 FPS, depending on how heavy the scene is. And in this case, there's a lot of action in here. And actually, it's not a bad experience. I'm actually able to frag some people in here, which is good. Okay, let's move on to our last set of games, and this is the PvE games, and we've got Helldivers 2 in here. Look at this one, boys. Maxed out our GPU. We are on low settings, but 4040p and native in here, and this is super Helldive difficulty. You'll be getting about 100 FPS, and there's a lot of bugs in here, a lot of fakes, a lot of explosions. Not bad for a 5-year-old cat. When we go to Path of Exile 2, now there's this one, if you're running at 4040p, this will alleviate that CPU bottleneck. So I would definitely recommend that you run, if you're going to be playing this game, you need to run it at 4040p so you could like move the bottleneck to this GPU instead of the CPU. You're going to be getting really still playable FPS at around 100 FPS, right? Not bad, not bad. And we're going to just also going to insert World of Tanks in here. Yes, it's a tank game, right? So we're just gonna get in here now. If there's a lot of effects, a lot of explosions, the FPS will drop to about 120. Otherwise, you'll be sitting at about 150 FPS here at Ultra SD settings at 40p. Let's see if this card can actually do 4K. Now we'll be using some upscalers in here. And first up is CyberPunk 2077. We've got DLSS quality in here against 1440p with DLSS quality, and you can see it's really bad, right? You're only getting about 37 FPS. So obviously we'll have to turn down the DLSS settings, and here we have DLSS performance. It's actually better, so you can actually run if you just turn down your DLSS settings. How about if we go even further? This is ultra performance. Yes, it will be upscaling from a very lower resolution, but hey, look at that one, boys. You're getting 90 FPS if you can run at 4K. Here's all three, right? Just a quick look at all three 4K resolutions with different DLSS settings. If you compare 1440p DLSS quality against 4K DLSS ultra performance, there we go, right? Now, if you're going to pixel peep and just see which one is better for you, we can do that in here as well. Now, there are some difference. This is mostly subjective, right? I don't know if you guys can tell the difference. I've zoomed in here, but yes, you can play either way. It depends on what you do. We're not even like maxing out our VRAM in here. You can play 4K. You just have to turn down some settings, okay? Like DLSS, you'll have to turn that down. At the end of the day, this is a single player game, so you're not really like pushed out, okay? And lastly, we have PUBG. I want to look at PUBG in here because yes, with PUBG, you do require like visibility to win this game, and having a 4K monitor is actually not bad if you're playing PUBG with RTX 3070. Obviously, competitive settings, you'll be getting about 150 FPS on our running benchmark. When we go to our mortar benchmark, this does drop down to about 130, but it is still good enough. Like PUBG is a slower paced game compared to our other shooters, so you could definitely play 4K with our RTX 3070 in 2026 with PUBG. I think this is a great card, and the RTX 3070 is still fully capable, and this is one of the cards that I really like. What do you guys think?